I don't think so. You repeatedly do whatever you want to do without regard to court orders, and it does not work like that. How much money do you make a month?
How much money I make a month?
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say like 8. I'm not.
8,000?
Yeah, I'm not.
Amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You 8,000 a month? Are you kidding me? That's amazing. What are you talking about? Good morning, Mr. Craddock. Mr. Craddock, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir. Okay.
Yes, Judge. One moment. It's loading right now. Okay. An officer was dispatched to a target in response to a theft. The officer made contact with the complainant, the loss prevention officer, who stated he observed the defendant come into the store and make a small purchase, leave, and then return and conceal merchandise in the shopping bags. The defendant then took the concealed merchandise and walked past all points of sale without paying. The total taken was $750.05.
And was he with anyone?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Craddock, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. How old are you, sir? What do you do for a living?
I am currently waiting for a call to get back so I can working.
Say that again.
I'm waiting for a college to get back to me, but I'm currently working at Taco Bell.
So you graduated from high school?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want to apply for an appointed lawyer, sir?
Would it be okay if I ask my mom that?
Is your mom here? Sure, of course. Mom, come on up. Thank you so much for coming. Did you hear what happened? Okay. I'm asking him if he wanted to apply for an appointed lawyer. I don't want to talk about the case. I only would like to know, do you want a court-appointed lawyer?
This is his first. This is never been charged.
Let's not talk about the case. I only want to know whether you guys would like a lawyer or not. Let me put it to you this way. You need a lawyer.
I was about to say yes, sir.
So you can either go hire a lawyer. Right. Mr. Craddock, theft cases are probably one of the worst possible cases that you can pick up in this life. Once you are branded a thief, it's going to be nearly impossible to get a job. I have people that come back to me and say, hey, man, I can't get this apartment because I got this theft conviction. Please. It's truly one of the worst. You're just now starting in life. Life is hard enough for a young black man in this society. Now you're going to make it even harder. Come on, man. Really? Go to school, study hard. You become something in this life. We'll give you a lawyer now. Don't go back to any Target. It's a part of your bond condition. If I find that you go back to Target, guess what happens? Right. I'm not asking much. Just follow the law. Don't pick up any new cases. Don't go back to Target. And then I'll provide you a lawyer today. All right? Okay, guys. I'm going to have you sign a reset with Victoria. We'll have you take your seat in the jury box. I need you to fill out an application for me, and then we'll have you talk to someone. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
I can text her now.
Yeah, please. All right. You are Roland Gomez.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Gomez, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. That allegation kicks it up to a Class A misdemeanor, so you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
All right.
On December 7th, 2024, officers were dispatched to a disturbance regarding an unknown weapon at an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officers met with the complainant, who advised that the defendant, her brother, came home from work drunk and began arguing with her. The complainant stated that at one point, the defendant told her, "I'm going to fuck you all up, I'm going to beat your ass, and I don't care who gets in my way." The complainant stated she was in fear for her life and believed the defendant was going to follow through with the threat to her. Upon making contact with the defendant, the officer observed red glassy eyes and a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage.
Got it. All right, Mr. Gomez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. You have the rip done. What does sister want? Does she want to continue to have contact with him?
Your Honor, the RIP has not been completed at this time. You mind? The rip is not done on this one for no contact.
You don't have a number, Judge, on that one. And that's the one we were in.
Right, I was making sure.
I looked at the offense report, Judge. There's no number listed on it, and there's no number listed in CCH. So I just am gonna get my investigator on it. I couldn't locate her, and that's why I couldn't do the writ.
So, Mr. Gomez, the way it works is that I'm going to order you not to have contact with this person because I don't know if she wants to have contact with you. Until I know, I'm going to order you not to have contact. I'm also going to enter in a magistrate's order for emergency protection. This is a court order that identifies her as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot be in possession of a weapon or go within 200 feet of where she lives or where she works. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If you violate this court order, the state can and probably will file a violation of protective order. And it's one of the worst cases you can pick up. You pick up one of those, things will go sideways extremely quick. I am also ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, you will end up getting your bond revoked. Do you understand? What do you do for a living?
One more, sir. Car pusher.
Good.
And I'm just
A month. I don't want to talk about the case.
No.
You need a lawyer to represent you, and I'm asking you these questions to see whether you have the ability to hire a lawyer.
I don't have I don't have the money to hire, but I thought I signed for.
I'm happy that you're working. It makes me happy, and I'm happy to give you a lawyer. If you're working full-time, even, I don't care. You're not killing it, that's okay, but I'm happy to give you a lawyer. My only concern is follow the law. Don't be a danger to my public. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
As long as you're not a danger, you and I will be best friends. Otherwise, we'll be mortal enemies, and I'm telling you, it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Sir.
Just keep working, do your thing. I already have an application on file. So for now, I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We're going to have you take a seat in the jury box while we compile all the documents, while we sign it, and then I'll have you talk to a lawyer here momentarily.
Okay. And my only question is, they wanted to see like paperwork to see at my job. They wanted to see some paperwork that it could show that I can't go back to work. Since the moment I had gotten the PR bond, they just asked me to wait to go to court. It's temporarily just see.
Do you need like a work excuse?
No, to like, am I allowed to like go back? Like they told me to take the.
So let's do this. Let me give you the lawyer. You can talk to the lawyer and the lawyer can talk to me and we'll go forward. Okay? Let's just do that.
To work. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And I want you to go back to work. You need to be productive, right? So, all right, let me have you just sign a reset and we'll have you take a seat in the jury box and I'll find your lawyer here momentarily. Okay? All right, bud. Ms. Guidry, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. To be probable cause, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, man.
On December 7th, 2024, at approximately 2:35 a.m., the officer conducted a traffic stop on the defendant's vehicle. After observing it stopped at a light with the right turn indicator on, but the vehicle not moving. The light cycled 2 more times to green, but the vehicle did not move. Upon making contact with the vehicle, the officer observed the defendant, the driver, and a passenger to both be asleep, and the passenger had an open liquor container on her lap. The vehicle was in drive, and the defendant's foot was on the brake pedal. The defendant eventually woke up after continuous attempts to wake the defendant and the passenger. The officer observed a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage on the defendant's breath and person. The defendant admitted to drinking 3 Hurricanes and 2 Amarettos, and standard field sobriety tests were performed. HGN 4 out of 6, walk and turn 7 out of 8, 1 leg stand 4 out of 4. The GIC was read and the defendant consented to breath. The results were 0.107 and 0.103.
Got it. Ms. Guidry, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Does she have a Texas driver license?
It's eligible, Your Honor.
Okay. You're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance in your name. This is a condition of your bond. If you violate these conditions, then you will go to jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
I'm also ordering you not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be randomly tested. Likewise, you test positive for drugs or alcohol, illegal drugs or alcohol. It's not going to go well. Do you understand, ma'am?
Yes.
Tell me, what do you do for a living?
I am a CPA.
You're a CPA. How much money do you make a month?
How much money I make a month?
Uh-huh.
I don't want to say like eight. I'm not.
8,000?
Yeah, I'm not.
Amazing.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Are you 8,000 a month? Are you kidding me? That's amazing. What are you talking about?
But this is
You're
embarrassing.
killing it. No. It's all right. Look, let's not say it any further. You need a lawyer to represent you, okay? We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. We'll get you with Fleischer for your bond conditions. You really make that kind of money, Mo? Doing that?
Exactly. I'm aiming to
Oh,
something, but almost.
you work full-time?
No.
Can you afford a lawyer?
I can.
Okay. We'll give you time. If you ever have any issues, come back, talk to us, and then we can always go further, whether you need an appointed lawyer or not. Okay? So I'm just, communication is key. I need you to talk to me, and then we can, if you need, we can appoint you a lawyer if you have any problems out there. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
So understand this, though. There's a lot of timing requirements with the DWI. So don't wait. Get on it quick. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm really, really happy that you're here. Thank you for coming.
No problem, no problem.
Really, I think that it's a big feat that you're even here because in times past, so I'm really happy that you're here. Come back. Good things happen, Ms. Mireles, when you come back. We're not bad people, I swear.
Thank
So what's going on now?
He picked up this evading. They're waiting for discovery on it before they make an offer. They want to look at discovery before they make an offer.
Is discovery complete?
We're
What's
still
going
waiting on body cam and dash, Your Honor.
Okay, I mean, it's only 50 days old. Where are you living? What are you doing with yourself these days? Shh.
I'm still staying with kind of in between shelter, and then I'm also on the street a little bit. But
No, how do we get you off the street?
hard. I went to the my houses, and I went there, and it was very strange because with the paperwork and everything that I had to deal with, it was hard to explain. They told me I was going to one house, but I ended up going to another house, which was complete opposite of what they had said that I would be going to. The conditions were much worse than I had expected, and it just
Shatoria, what can we do to help Mr. Mireles as far as housing? Do we have? He's going to qualify for the TAP funding. There's no doubt. We've got a list of places. Do you have a phone?
yeah, I run off Wi-Fi, but I do have one, so I will call.
Do you have a phone? Okay, so there's a list of places that you can go there that, so what specifically can we do, Shatoria? Like housing wise? Oh, well, no, but I know that you have stuff to do.
He can follow me back to the office and we have a social worker there.
Wonderful. Do you mind doing that so we can find you a place to stay?
Yeah. If not today, I have to get her to the vet, and it's offered for free. She has to get her shots.
Whoa. I don't want, once you go, you're not coming back. You're here already. Just why don't you go talk to them?
If I miss her shots, but I'll go.
You could get the shots later,
Yeah,
okay?
okay.
Whether you get it now, whether you get it in 4 hours, it's not gonna make a difference. You're already here.
I understand, yeah.
Really, we can try to find you a place to stay.
Okay.
Or would you prefer to stay on the street?
No, it's just, I don't know, I'm not so optimistic. I've tried several times, and
It's a lot with the initiative that the city of Houston is doing, getting the people off the street, shelters are filling up.
I just kind of gave up hope with getting help.
Don't give up hope. Never give up hope. There's always something out there. We can always find you something. It's you gotta want it though.
Yeah,
Right.
I do really want to.
And stay
That's
with
something else.
Lori. Let me get you over there today. I'm happy that you're here. No one's gonna do anything to your bond. Just keep coming back and good things will happen. The only other thing I'm going to ask you to do is stay in touch with Lori,
Oh,
okay? Whether it's via email, whether it's phone, however it may be.
yeah.
You know, when you do that, good things will happen. Unfortunately, we can't do anything with your case today because they don't have any evidence. Can you get it as quick as possible, Alex,
Yes, Your Honor,
please?
we can reach out and get an escalation, Your Honor.
Please,
Yes, Your
you
Honor.
know, time is of the essence.
Yes, Judge.
So why don't we pick a court date now so he knows when our next setting is?
All right.
Okay. Please go with them, all right?
Okay, well, yeah.
Come on. Good things happen when you come, you know. that.
Really, thank you. All right. Hey, it's great to see you, Mr. Davis.
you.
Really, I'm proud of you for coming.
How are you, Judge?
It's Friday.
I know. Judge, we're back on Tristan Smith. And Tristan is in court today.
Come up, Mr. Smith.
Your orders were for Tristan to report for drug testing, which he did. We received the results as a positive for THC usage. And he's here to speak with you.
Felicia,
Yes, Judge.
when did we first test Mr. Smith?
So for Mr. Smith, I see an order prior to when I was here on October 7th to have Mr. Smith, go to a drug test that day. He never reported, so that's why the BVR was filed. And so then we had a test on the 9th, and those were now confirmed by the lab positive for THC. But I believe.
So that was October 9th.
No, October 7th, we ordered them to test, they did not.
Okay.
We caught that a little late, by the BVR, and then we adjusted a little bit last week, I believe, or the beginning of.
How is it that we ordered him to test in October and he's now in December testing? How- How on earth? It's unacceptable.
Yeah, it was a forwarded drug test, and I don't think you wanted them to come back after testing.
But if they don't test, then they're required to come back and we either make them test again or or there's other ramification, but we don't, how on earth can we go a month and a half and then nothing happens?
Yes, Judge, I understand, but we did, for your orders, we tested them again this week, and those did come back for THC.
Who was here working that day?
I can look into it, but it's really no way of knowing for sure because there was no assigned officer here at the time.
Someone had to have signed an order to go test. There's always a way. There's always a paper trail.
Yes, Judge. Sorry, this was from the court. Since they never made the appointment, but it was one of our officers' noses. So I
What
think
do we
it
do
was
with this, Mr. Brooker? How do we hold Mr. Smith accountable?
Judge, I know what I've done since Monday. Mr. Smith and I have talked very frequently this week. I admonished him thoroughly about the THC usage. He explained to me what happened with that, and he understands the seriousness of it. He understands what's at risk. It's correct what you said that he doesn't have any support out there, financial or otherwise. I'm actually happy that he was able to make it here on time today because I was concerned about that. So that was twice this week. He wants to be compliant. He wants to do what's best. He wants to dispose of the case.
I don't believe that.
I know, Judge.
I don't believe that. He's telling me that you want to be compliant. I don't think so. You repeatedly do whatever you want to do without regard to court orders, and it does not work like that. You repeatedly fail to appear here. You blow off the test, and now you're testing positive. What am I supposed to do? Just let you go?
I didn't repeat, I missed one day and that was the day I was supposed to come and I didn't have no way up here. I didn't even.
You can take the bus.
I'm in Humble. The bus did not come out of Humble. I'm literally sleeping at the park right now, like, okay, and I'm still, okay. Yes, sir.
And Judge, even with those challenges, Tristan has been in school. Even on the Zoom appearance from last week, I believe he was Zooming in from school that day, the day that he couldn't make it and got down here on that
I
Monday.
don't know what to believe with him. I really don't. Unless you provide me proof with something, I'm not going to believe a word that comes out of your mouth. I don't believe, because the problem is that you tell me that you're going to, you tell me you're going to do things, and then when it's time to, you don't. So how am I supposed to handle this? What am I
Except
supposed to do?
Judge, he came in on Monday, you ordered him to take the test, he went right over.
I literally walked here. I didn't have nowhere. I walked here.
He went over.
That was a whole 4 hour. I walked here from school. I walked here all the way from Chattanooga.
I'm not asking much. I don't want you to use. Do you understand?
Judge, if I may add, I have communicated with his grandmother. I believe it was on December 5th that I
Oh,
called her.
you spoke with Grandma.
I did.
Have you let Mr. Brooker know first?
Yes, Judge, I recorded, I took details of the conversation and shared it promptly with Mr. Brooker.
How do we go forward?
So it appears as though, based on my conversation with Miss Karen, that the defendant has gone to the house, the residence since then with his friends. He refused to leave even upon her request. There is a MOAB in place, Judge, where he was supposed to have no contact with the residents, and per his bond conditions, I don't believe he was supposed to have contact with her either. And he has gone to the residence.
And now we have even more. I mean,
And she did file a police report, I believe, Judge. She told me she called the police and they filed a report, and she has an offense number.
Mr. Brooker, you guys want to talk about this and then
We can, Judge, we can.
does she want him to come back or no?
No, my understanding, and I also heard from one of the family members, I believe Tristan's sister, they don't want him to come back. And mentioned something about whatever was the underlying dispute about some property or whatever. I didn't respond to it at all. It just didn't seem like the right thing to do. But as Tristan has indicated, everything he said to me is that he's been living outside, doesn't have anywhere to go, which is my original concern with him. Took him downstairs to try to get him some kind of services. It's not really a workable situation, but he's communicated with me. We've talked this week. This is his second time here. He took the test, Judge. He was forthright with me. He understands what can happen. I told him.
Saba,
Nobody's
what do you
gonna
want?
bond you out.
What do you want me to do?
Judge, just that he continue having no contact with any of the complainants. They are fearful of the defendant. They do want him to get help. I've also spoken to his mother, and she wants him to receive mental health treatment. He does have
Do you need a place
propensities
to
towards
stay?
violence.
I have like some nights
No, you were telling me earlier that you're living on the street.
I am.
Do you have a place to stay? Okay.
They told me,
If you want, we have places for you to go. I have services for you. I have Shatoria here. We can find you a place to stay if you need it, because the street, it's not a good place to live. The streets will ravage you in ways that you never know. You'll do things just to survive. It's not a good place to be. So if you need a place, we can find you a place. But that's still no excuse to violate conditions of bond. We've ordered you not to go back to this house, right? I get that you may have, issues, where to live, where to stay, who to be with, how to get there. But if they don't want you there, then you can't go. And I mean, they've already called the cops.
I spoke to his family, Judge. They were under the impression that the defendant was living with a friend in their house, so I don't know.
And that's my understanding too, and Tristan did tell me that he intended to go and stay with a friend. But that was 2 months ago, Judge. He's not paying any rent or anything. His situation has changed since then.
Look, I'm trying really hard not to put you into custody, but at some point, your actions become your own and it's on you. I'm not going to keep playing this game. I'm not, I expect you, like everybody else, to live to the conditions. When we tell you not to go back, it's mom or grandma.
I spoke to both, Judge. Grandma wants no contact.
If I hear it happens again, get ready. You're not allowed to use. And I'm telling you now, I'm going to test you for, someone dropped the ball here. And I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I'm telling you, you're going to get tested again. And if it tests positive again, there's no excuse. Now, we have resources to help you. If you want help, all you have to do is ask. We've given you a list of places that you can call, that you can go stay. They will take you in. If you need any other resources, we're happy to help you as well. But at some point, there's just no more excuse. Understand? All right.
Good judge.
Hey, that's it. I mean, really, just no more tolerance. I mean, I don't know, this is what, 3, 4, how many times is this?
It's our second time back since the first time, but I do understand. I agree. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Summer. So I guess let mom and grandma know, hey, we've tightened the leash. There's no more excuses. Any more issues, let us know. And
Yes, Judge. And to be fair, it was, the mother did tell me that she has not seen him. It was the grandmother. And
okay, well, that's good news. All right.
Yes, Judge, and
Okay.
Hey, Judge,
Carmen.
real quick on Pittman, did you have?
What time does court start?
8:30.
You got here, it's now 12.
At the UA, they just told me that I wasn't on the list.
And did he check in at the pretrial, guys? Did Mr. Wyckoff, bottom of page 21, check in at pretrial? Yeah, remember, we revoked this bond. I can't. It's okay. Go ahead.
And insisted, it says that he insisted he needed a drug test today. And then.
He's right. He's right. The problem is that because we're back at an arraignment setting, we have to redo bond conditions. So that's why they didn't see it, that you have to do it.
Yeah.
Because anytime you get rearrested and you go back into custody, we have to redo all the conditions. So that's why. The problem is that I can't do anything with your case today because your lawyer's not here. So why don't we do this? Why don't we roll it to Monday? Okay? Your lawyer's not here and it's already now nearly 1 o'clock.
You can't call him on Zoom? Or I can step out in the hallway and try to call him?
Go for it. Sure.
He said that he was finna get on the Zoom.
He's here now. He's here now. So, Mr. Wyckoff, it looks like we had you were doing well. When we were testing you like crazy, you were doing well. We stopped doing it, and then you started using again. So guess what happens now? What? Go back to the way we were,
Hey,
right?
all right.
Doesn't that make sense? Yeah. Back to the way we were. Don't use. I'm not asking much. Don't use PCP. Don't use cocaine. Don't use marijuana. Don't use alcohol. And as long as you can be like that, then you and I will be best friends. Understand? Okay. So we're going to go back to the way we were because things were going well back yonder. We took them off the bond, the strict conditions, and it goes back. Okay, Joseph?
Yes, Judge. So is that testing once a week? How was it?
No, it's twice a
No,
week.
Twice a week.
Monday and Thursdays.
Okay, sir.
So we will give you a 30-day setting today, which will be your setting to come back. But with us, it'll be Monday and Thursday with him.
Yes,
Okay.
Judge. Understood.
So what day you want to do?
January 22nd, 23rd.
How's that?
That's fine, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
22nd. All right, Joseph.
Thank you, Judge.
Make us proud. See you Monday. I want you to understand that above all else, here, I'm going to protect my city at all cost from every single person. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. I don't care if it's a small farm animal. I will do everything in my power to protect this public at all costs. And if that means making your bond extremely high, I'm going to do it in a heartbeat. There are certain expectations that we have here. You are not to use alcohol. You are not to use illegal drugs. I'm going to test you again 45 days from today. And if you test positive for marijuana, that tells me that you've continued to smoke. If you stop today, then the next time you come back to test, you should test negative. Do you understand? It's gonna stop one way or the other. You're not to have contact with the complaining witnesses in this case. You're not to be in possession of any weapons, and you're not to pick up a new case. You know what the expectations are. So if you violate these conditions, you know what's gonna happen. Do you understand? We're gonna reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm gonna have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. After that, we'll give you 45 days. We'll see you back then. Expect a test. It's going to happen.
And
Do you
said
understand?
my lawyer, name right here. That's don't know who my lawyer is.
I don't think did we give him a lawyer? No, and it's late. So what I can do is if you want to come back next week, we can give you a lawyer. I'll give you an application to take home, but it's late now. Everybody's gone. Pick a day next week. You want to come back and we can give you a lawyer that day. And then, but understand, in 45 days, I'm going to test you. Don't do anything that necessitates you having a gun. Don't have a weapon. Do you understand?
Sure.
All right, come on.
So we
Okay.
haven't had a chance to.
I'll give you a little bit of time, but
My understanding is procedurally what has happened is she was on a pretrial diversion.
correct.
Her previous lawyer has passed away.
Mhm.
The state has rescinded or terminated the pretrial diversion that she was on. I've had a chance to kind of go through a little bit of in the way of discovery. She wants to move forward and try to figure out what we're doing with the case, needs me to do that. By way of background, she works as a pharmacy technician at Walgreens, as a student in college. Quite a bit of mitigating stuff. I need to really have some time to dissect it all.
Is she using while she's on bond? Was that the issue?
Let me see, Judge. I'm not sure why Nathan.
Shatoria, tell me about Miss Imam, huh?
It looks like she had continuous violation of her device after being placed on a zero tolerance. She had a pattern of failing to report visits. She failed to complete SOP. She failed to maintain the alcohol monitoring device. I don't see any, the violations on the device were skip tests.
And Judge, I think there was some times where there were some missed tests. I don't know that.
So I'll give you time.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, I'm putting a scram on your ankle now, so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. And if I find that you consume alcohol, or if I find that you're consuming illegal drugs, it's really, really not going to go well for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Does she have a Texas driver license?
Well, let me talk to me.
Just,
You run it, Judge.
Yes, she
It
does.
hasn't been run. Okay. You're running it?
so let's do this. I'd like her to get a scram today.
Yes.
I'm also going to send her for a drug test because I want to know what, if anything, is in her system. We'll sit you off 2 weeks for you guys to decide what you guys want to do. Okay, get what you need. Your case is 530 days old. It's time to decide what we're going to do. It looks like they've already kicked you out of the program. I don't know if they're going to relent and let you back in. I don't know, but I'm going to tell you now, let's just cross that bridge when we get there, but
What I would like is if in maybe 60 days or something like that, if things are going well on the scram device, maybe come back in and revisit and get a.
I don't, well, no. I don't know if I'm going to keep the case open 60 days. It's 525
Fair enough.
days, you know? I mean, I'll give you some time,
I just
but
need to make sure all the
Judge, we
discoveries.
do have an offer in on this case as well.
what is
We put in
it?
an offer at time served.
Okay, so there's an offer. So when we come back, you know, I'll give you 2 to 3 weeks, but when we come back, you need to either accept the plea bargain from the state or I'm going to set your case for trial. If I find that you're using or doing anything to violate the law while you're on bond, now I'm going to put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
That's it. You're not allowed to drive unless you have liability insurance in your name. If you do not have car insurance, do not drive. Do you understand? Okay. So we'll give you 3 weeks,
Yes.
Mr. Garris. But at that time, when you come back,
Senator, I will
either accept, or if you're going to provide mitigating evidence to the state
try to get back in the program.
before that day, so we know,
I will do that in advance.
please.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Simon. All
Thank you,
right,
Judge.
so I'm gonna put the devices on her today. She gets a test today and all fees waived.
Thank you.
Judge, my apologies, I misunderstood. Could you please go over those conditions again for me?
I want to send it for a drug test now,
Yes, Judge.
and I'd like to put a scram on her ankle now today as well.
Yes, Judge.
Okay? We'll set the case. I'm sorry?
Do you want random UAs as well?
Well, no, I just want to know if she's clean now or not. And then in 3 weeks, this case is
Yes, Judge.
one way or the other.
Yes.
And then, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
All right, guys.